The way I look at it, bikers come in every color and shape, but we all have one thing in common: motorcycles. It took decades before Sugar Bear was accepted into the mainstream chopper community, and to get there, he rode the shoulders of a legendary bike builder who didn't live long enough to get the credit he deserved.
There's a guy named Ben Hardy, who we called the king of bikes. Benny was a guy that everybody patterned themselves after. If you didn't know something about a bike, even if you had a shop, you'd call Benny. And Benny was a guy that most people don't know about, but he built the two most famous bikes in the history of motorcycling, I think, the Easy Rider bikes for the movie.
In 1968, production started on the motion picture Easy Rider, and director Dennis Hopper was in search of someone to make the perfect choppers.
Harley-Davidson wouldn't give us any, we asked for bikes to be comped, and they wouldn't comp us any bikes at all. As a matter of fact, they didn't want their image to be an outlaw image. So we had to get some old police bikes and chop them up.
About 99% of the people that ride motorcycles have no idea who built the bikes, who really built the bikes.
I think it was more Hollywood's idea of what the bikes would look like for everyday riders.
It was hard during that time for a black guy. You just didn't get credit for what you did.
Ben Hardy worked behind the scenes building the choppers, but Cliff Vaughs coordinated the effort.
Well, Cliff Vaughs made it. There's no question about that. He made him at this shop, probably. Yeah.
Why doesn't anybody know about these guys? They should be famous. Benny Hardy died in 1994, and no one knew what happened to Cliff Vaughs. But I was on a mission. After months of searching and digging, I found Cliff Vaughs in Ensenada, Mexico.
Ben Hardy was the real old-timer. Everybody who had a bike down around South Central or even over my side went to Ben to have their bike fixed, have it repaired. He built bikes from scratch. He rebuilt the engines, and Ben Hardy was the man to see. He was my old mentor. Really, he taught me almost all that I knew about building bikes. And when I was working on the Easy Rider bikes, I went to him for parts that I might need and for advice.
Peter and I sat down and talked to him, and Peter designed his, and I did my Billy bike. Thought my bike is more practical, more workable hog than Captain America.
I think the bikes were definitely the stars. If those guys were riding around Honda Dreams, that movie would have never been as popular as it was. But to have some cool custom painted up Harleys, you know, choppers, when that stuff was kind of taboo then, they definitely stole the show.
I don't know what the aims of Easy Rider were at the time, but they certainly weren't going to show blacks at all, no more than they've done in the past.
The Billy bike that he built was typical of the bikes that we were riding. I see the drag bars, the exhaust pipes, the location of the voltage regulator, all the stuff that was there was just typical for us. It was almost like it was a Benny trademark.
No, I think the bikes were like V-Men characters. I mean, certainly Peter's bike, Captain America's bike. I mean, it was the great chrome machine. I mean, it represented the United States.
Choppers were there long before I came. My role, if I had a role, was to popularize it.
It is the most well-known biker movie ever made, featuring the two most famous choppers in history, and yet the two black guys who built them remain relatively unknown.
We're not accepted as being an equal biker. Why? I got the wrong complexion. That's why they don't want you in this really white business.
Had the circumstances been different, had he been maybe a white guy, he probably would have been an icon. I think that movie influenced more people into motorcycles than anything that has ever happened. And the fact that they were built by a black man, I'm proud of that. It would have been nice that he had known that other people were proud of that. Well, I'm not sure how people are going to react to this interview. It's a side of motorcycling that most people don't know about. These are my experiences. This is what happened to me. I mean, you have to explain to me why a guy that did the two most famous motorcycles in the world is unknown. You have to tell me why I was not in magazines for 25 years. I mean, can you see someone saying they didn't know Michelangelo did the Sistine Chapel? No one ever said that he did it, but it's there, but nobody knows who did it? I mean, come on. It was a matter of, this is something we had been doing. And we didn't do it initially thinking that we were going to be industry giants or we were going to be this or that. We did it because we had a passion for it. We did it because we loved what we were doing. And we wouldn't let anybody take that from us.